Hello, I am Partybug,
And I'm guest NGDBSS.
and this is the fourth episode, I believe, of Dark Souls Third Strike.
Yep.
One that is missing, going to be missing a fight stick cam for a little bit because I lost the video somewhere.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Dark Souls doesn't have a rewind mode.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's not very nice about that.
I mean, in theory, you could manage that with something like Hourglass, but that's probably absurdly processor intensive because you'd have to reload the RAM every time.
Oh yeah. So first up, we got this guy with the sword. He shows up every now and then. He's not too much of a problem, although he did kill me once or twice. But you get the Irithel Straight Sword from him, which is a really good weapon. Have you played Dark Souls 3?
Yes.
Alright. So, would you agree with me that long swords are probably one of the best weapons in the game?
You mean weapon classes, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not certain that all the changes were for the best, but.
Yeah.
Uh. Actually, considering that you've actually now got a cestus or castus, or however you pronounce it. I don't actually speak Latin. Have you upgraded this thing?
I have upgraded it. I did that off camera. It's, I believe, at +2 at this moment.
Okay, so not as good as you could get it, but decent.
Yeah. I mean, it's never going to be great, but
Yeah.
I do plan to upgrade it every now and then.
Yeah, it's one of the weird pieces of scaling that's been in most of the games, but they took out in Dark Souls 2, and I like that they took it out in Dark Souls 2, that scaling... Sorry, scaling with your stats is also dependent on the weapon's base damage.
Right.
So,
I help any.
doesn't matter how... If this thing has like an S scaling in strength and dexterity or whatever, it's still not going to be terribly great if the base damage is not terribly great.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame for some weapons.
But you've played the DLC, though it's not going to be showing up for a while.
I actually have not played the DLC yet.
Okay.
I was planning to wait until the second one came out and just do them at the same time.
Yeah, I'm hoping they add... Oh dear.
Yeah, I kind of missed that jump.
I'm hoping they add a bit more variety in fist weapons and so forth, but, do you consider claws to be fist weapons for this purpose or not?
I suppose. I mean, Vega has claws, so that's close enough.
Because there's some stuff in the DLC you'll probably find fun for that, then.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean, I would like something like the Dragon Boat Fist, but oh well.
Yeah, I miss the old weapons.
That thing was damn weird. It had, like... It had 4 different smash attacks, which is kind of wild, considering that, like, even big weapons usually only have 1 or 2.
It was pretty great.
Oh, yeah. But...
So yeah, I'm curious about what most people think about Dark Souls 3, because I find that the Souls series is pretty divisive among people. Some people think the first game is the be-all and end-all of video games, and the second one is like some terrible slap in the face. I haven't met too many people who dislike the third one, but I know there are a few, just because the way they change mechanics around.
It's... I can't say I dislike it, but it's probably the weakest of the ones that I've played.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've seen a bunch of very good stuff about Bloodborne, and of course paid attention to LPs on this subforum, and I sort of gathered that Demon Souls, as one person put it, is kind of jank Souls.
Yeah, I'd say that. Demon Souls is probably my least favorite.
But you seem to be operating the elevator here until you can actually get on the relevant platform.
Yeah, I had to mess around with the camera, and that takes time.
Yeah, because... Okay. I'd forgotten already that yes, you're not using a controller. You're not using
Yeah.
mouse and keyboard. You're using a fight stick.
Yep. So yeah, you can see that now the camera is pointed down and will be for quite a while until I take the time to adjust it again. But yeah, we find this guy who's technically not a boss, so I will not give him the gravitas of announcing for him.
I suppose he's what, kind of like a mini boss in Final Fight or something like that.
Yeah,
Wait,
and he gets reskinned so many times.
yeah. So he is a Final Fight mini boss.
I think that's true. But yeah, the Sigward assist is doing the work here.
Yeah.
I just kind of hang out in the back. Yeah, back on the topic of Souls games, even though I'm noted before that I'm kind of down on this one because it's more of a greatest hits of every other Souls game, I still do like it, and I think I like it because it's the closest to Bloodborne, which is my favorite Souls game. I just prefer the faster combat.
Yeah.
And that dude's dead.
Of course, the funny thing that I found was that the combat is fast if you actually have, like, top of the line or near top of the line shit.
That was quite
Right.
a performance.
Since,
Mustn't get in your head.
when I first started playing this, I was using an older graphics card. Like, it was high-end consumer
My soul
5 years ago.
our victory together.
So I could not get it to run it consistently on 30 FPS on the lowest settings.
Oh, it's rough.
Yeah.
I'm going to have myself a little nap.
So you were doing a challenge run of your own then.
Effectively, yeah. I mean, now I've actually got a good graphics card in RX 470, I think, from AMD, and so it's kind of, oh, this is a lot easier now.
yeah, I imagine there'd be a big difference.
Yeah.
So I had to stop here and get to sleep. Fortunately, we probably won't be seeing Sigward again. He falls down a well, and I'm not planning to get him out.
Oh.
Although he might be useful at some point, so I'll have to consider it.
Since we were in that area, do you ever plan to pick up a bow to, shoot down occasional corpses and whatnot?
Nope, no bows.
Okay.
The worst I'm gonna do is, fire bombs if I ever really need them. But I'm gonna be missing pretty much almost everything.
Yeah.
But you can see here I'm burning some souls so I can level up my dexterity, which is actually not the best choice. I should actually be leveling strength because I can infuse the Kestis with a heavy gem and get better scaling.
I forget how that thing works and how some of the scaling works. I know it's quirky because, like, generally it's better to do heavy versus sharp or sharp versus heavy, even with those stats at the same thing, and with otherwise equal scaling uninfused or something like that.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a refined gem that will do both
Oh yeah.
dex and strength, which is pretty good.
Oh yeah, and you'll eventually be putting that on, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I almost did the raw gem, which does the no scaling at all but increases damage, but I decided against it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I killed 2 mini bosses, and now we're on to the real thing. There is... I was kind of making fun of Dark Souls 3 for not having original areas. This one is kind of. I can't quite think of an analog in any other games. Maybe Forest of Giants a little bit.
Maybe.
I mean, it's not super exciting area, but it is different, I guess.
Except, Yeah, Forest of Fallen Giants doesn't exactly have a bunch of weird-looking corvids.
Yeah, bird people. Bird people out of Bloodborne, or at least they have the same attacks. This is Mildred. She is easy to kill. I don't think she's actually named Mildred, but that was the name of the one in Dark Souls 1.
Does she actually have a name?
I think her name is Madwoman. I looked it up, but I forgot.
Okay.
But she gives you the Butcher's Knife, which is the first, I think the first real greatsword you can get.
It's actually an axe.
Is it?
Yep.
Huh.
Has that moveset.
It's been a while since I've done a run with axes or anything. I did a greatsword run, which was fun, but difficult.
When did you do it, and do you mean regular greatsword or ultra greatsword?
Ultra greatsword.
Oh, okay. Which one did you use?
I used the, I think it's just called Ultra Greatsword, the Gut Sword.
Oh, just the greatsword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've played through this game probably more than any other Dark Souls game.
Yeah. One I've played the most is Dark Souls 2. It's the one I prefer, but I understand why there are differences of opinions.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I like Dark Souls 2. I played that more than the original. But the original I played, like, switching on and off with a buddy of mine, so I don't really have the, I guess, the nostalgia for it that some people do.
Yeah. To some degree, it's whichever one you got into first, and I suspect a lot of the community, oh, there's your fight stick, got into Dark Souls 1 first. It was the first that wasn't just on PS3, and actually the first on PC as well.
That is true. I did originally play it on PC, although I did not use mouse and keyboard, because I imagine that was horrible.
Wait, which one?
Dark Souls.
Oh, the original one? Yeah. That was the one for which you needed a fixed program.
Yeah, for some reason, I feel like mouse and keyboard would even be more alien than a fight stick.
Yeah. But I guess just sort of running past everything.
Yep.
Not even going to deal with the crabs out here.
No, I don't have any patience for crabs. Crabs are too casual for Ashy Larry. This guy, though, following me is going to be a problem.
Are they lycanthropes or something else? I forget their name.
I don't quite remember myself. They are at least easy to kill.
Oh, they are lycanthropes. I've got one of the wikis open here, so...
Ah, nice.
I don't know where it says it in the game. It's probably in, the official guide or whatever.
So I did a quick cut here because I shamefully died to one of the easiest bosses in the game, which is going to be a running theme.
Oh boy.
But once we get through that, then it's just a straight run to the boss.
Well, the thing about this boss is that it's, the more damage you can output relative to your stamina bar, the better.
Exactly. And as we're going to see coming up, Ashy Larry does not have a lot of damage potential.
Really?
He does not.
I'm surprised, just because I remember, one of the best weapons for damage relative to stamina in Dark Souls 2 was unarmed with the Vanquisher seal.
Right. Unarmed was really good in Dark Souls 2. I miss it deeply.
Yeah. Especially since you could just ignore Sin's effect or having to deal with slower weapon durability drain with the Ancient Dragon.
Right. So now we see just messing around with the camera until he can find him.
Yep.
Now, Crystal Sage, how do you feel about this matchup?
So long as you can keep in close, you can fight him attempting to zone you. Of course, the problem comes here when you don't have one of him trying to zone you, you have 4 of him trying to zone you.
Exactly. So what Ashy ended up having to do is kill the clones before going after the main one. Otherwise, get blown up.
Luckily, they do go down in one hit and have a bit of a tell to them, but...
Right. If you can see colors, you can tell the difference.
yeah.
Yeah, most of the time, what you would want to do is just run up and punch the nerd to death. Unfortunately, when you don't do a lot of damage, you're susceptible to getting hit by everything else. Mm-hmm. So it's safer just to kill the clones. But yeah, this is going pretty well. This only took 2 tries, which I was surprised about.
Which ain't bad for your particular gimmick.
It is not. There are other bosses that have taken much more.
Oh my.
Yeah, you see Ashley going in here, avoiding all the crystals. Getting that big damage. Crystal Sage not teleporting out for some reason. Just likes to take those fists to the face.
KO.
And done. Another delicious soul to eat.
Yep. Eventually you'll find a soul that you're not just gonna eat.
Eventually, there's one. Otherwise, they're all going in the stomach. Delicious souls.
Really? Not even occasionally making rings?
Nope, no rings.
Okay.
And that was the 4th match.